Imagine driving past every car on the track, holding a huge lead, and being just minutes away from your first win all year. Then your engine sputters, and the dream slips away. That's exactly what happened to Christopher Bell at Pocono on Sunday, and the way it all fell apart will leave you shaking your head. Bell took the green flag at the Great American Getaway 400 Long Pond, Pennsylvania, on Sunday, June 14th. But this wasn't a normal race weekend for him. Just 1 week earlier, Bell had a nasty crash at Michigan that left him with a broken left wrist. Most drivers would have stayed home. Bell did not. To make it work, his team got creative. He wore a sleek black cast that was shaped to fit his steering wheel grip. The crew also changed the inside of his number 20 Toyota to make him more comfortable. NASCAR even had another driver, Brandon Jones, ready to jump in the car if Bell couldn't finish. Spoiler, Jones never had to. Bell drove all 400 miles himself. But the race didn't start well at all. Bell qualified 22nd, which is not great. He spent most of the afternoon stuck in the middle of the pack, fighting just to keep up. Bell himself called his run lackluster. That's a fancy word for boring and disappointing. Here's what Bell said about the slow start. Going out early to qualifying really hurt us, and then I could never make ground on the restarts. And ultimately, I was in the 20s. He also believed his hurt wrist played a part. When other cars made fast moves around him, he just couldn't react quickly enough to keep up. For most of the day, Bell sat outside the top 20. The race had long green flag runs, meaning few cautions and lots of clean racing. That made it really hard to pass. The number 20 car was going nowhere fast. That's when crew chief Adam Stevens decided to roll the dice. On lap 107 out of 160, Stevens called Bell down pit road for what would be his last stop of the day. The plan? Stretch the fuel tank way past what it could normally do. A normal fuel run was about 42 laps. Stevens wanted Bell to make it 53 laps to the finish. That's a huge ask. But hey, they had nothing to lose. Stevens later explained the thinking. Well, we just sucked all day, and we were going to run 18th to 25th. And that opportunity presented itself, and honestly, we were hoping for a caution early in that run. And we didn't get it. And then we decided just to save and see how close we could get. Even Bell didn't think it would work at first. He said Stevens was making it sound like there was no way we were going to make it. But as other cars made their regular pit stops, something magical started to happen. Bell's number 20 Toyota kept cycling toward the front. With 23 laps to go, Bell was suddenly leading the race. The driver, who was running 20th all day, was now in first place. And it wasn't even close. At one point, Bell had a 17-second lead over second place his own teammate, Denny Hamlin. In NASCAR, 17 seconds is a massive gap. That's when Bell faced a tough mental moment. He explained it like this. Whenever we got to 20 laps or so left, like, okay, 17 seconds, and it's like, okay, are we racing for the win, or are we racing to finish the race? The hard part is you can't really know. Stevens was using something called SMT data, which tracks how much Bell was pressing the gas pedal and how fast the engine was spinning. But even with all that information, Stevens admitted, when you're saving that hard, we don't really have a great way to really know for sure how we're doing. So Bell did everything he could to save fuel. He short-shifted, meaning he changed gears early to use less gas. With about 10 laps to go, he stopped shifting completely and just left the car in fifth gear. He was driving more like a school bus than a race car, all to save every last drop of fuel. Inside the car, hope was building. Bell said, I didn't know what to think. I was just trying to stay open-minded and do my job inside of our Ream Camry. Obviously, when they start telling me that we're getting good gas mileage and we are in good position, I'm starting to get excited in there. But the dream didn't last. The faster cars behind him were closing in. With 5 laps to go, Denny Hamlin caught Bell and passed him for the lead. Bell dropped to second, then third, then fourth. His car was slowing down as the fuel tank got dangerously close to empty. Then it happened. As the field came around to take the white flag, meaning 1 lap left, Bell's car sputtered and ran completely out of fuel. He had to pit on the very last lap from 4th place, and that drop-off sent him all the way down to a 26th place finish. How close was Bell to making it? Stevens summed it up perfectly. Just a lap and a quarter short. 1 lap and a quarter. That's it. That's the difference between heartbreak and a wild victory. You'd think Bell would be crushed. But here's where the story gets interesting. Bell didn't sound bitter or upset at all. Instead, he was at peace with what happened. He said, "This was not a would have, could have, should have. I've had a lot of would have, could have, should have this year, but not this one. That was just a gamble, and we ran around 20th all day." In other words, they weren't losing a race they should have won. They were trying to steal one they had no business winning in the first place. Bell even praised his crew chief for trying. "I applaud him on rolling the dice and trying to do it." Stevens felt the same way about his driver. He said, "He's a tough cookie. He's got his mind focused on the right things, and eventually it'll turn our way." Stevens also pointed out how hard this year has been on the whole team. "This whole year has just been hard on all of us. And then you throw in an injury with another good car last week, and it's not easy on him, it's not easy on the team." About that broken wrist, Bell said it didn't hurt him most of the time. He explained, "My wrist is fine whenever I'm by myself, but when things got crazy, that was a different story." He had a moment where he banged doors with Josh Berry's number 21 car going into turn 3, and Berry crashed in front of him. Bell admitted, "I just don't really have the ability to make sharp, quick corrections to the car. Restarts were the toughest part, but on long runs by himself, the wrist felt okay." After the race, Bell said his wrist had no pain at all. Still, he wasn't ready to promise he'd race next week at Naval Base Coronado in San Diego. He simply said, "We'll see how the week progresses." This year has been brutal for Bell. Just look at what's happened lately. Before Michigan, he had 2 straight runner-up finishes at Charlotte and Nashville. Then at Michigan, he was running second when he crashed and broke his wrist. He finished 31st. At Pocono, he was running 4th when the fuel ran out. He finished 26th. That's the pattern. Great car, great speed, terrible luck. But there is some good news. Bell still sits 70 points above the playoff cutoff. So even with all this bad luck, he's still in solid shape to make the championship chase later this year. Bell ended with the kind of attitude that makes you root for him. He said, "The year just hasn't gone our way. Whatever the future holds, it holds. I feel confident that our time will come." He also gave more credit to his crew chief. "Adam's doing a great job calling the races and giving me really fast race cars. I feel like I can drive good whenever everything's right." Oh, and one more thing worth knowing. The driver who passed Bell to win the race? That was teammate Denny Hamlin. It was his 3rd straight win at Pocono and the 64th win of his career. Same team. Same garage. 2 completely different days. So that's the story of how Christopher Bell almost stole a win he had no business winning and how it slipped away in the cruelest way possible. The 2026 season has been one heartbreak after another for the number 20 team, but Bell isn't giving up, and neither is his crew. Sooner or later, all this bad luck has to turn around. The only question now is when.